When global power rankings mention Middle Eastern rulers, one name dominates headlines: Mohammed bin Salman. But the true architect of regional influence operates in calculated silence, away from flashy interviews and PR campaigns. Meet Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, MBZ, President of the United Arab Emirates and Abu Dhabi's ruler, a man whose wealth eclipses entire nations, whose military decisions reshape continents, whose phone calls can alter global markets within minutes. Yet somehow you've never heard his full story. Today, we take you inside the extraordinary world of the most powerful Arab ruler alive, a desert visionary who transformed a modest federation into a global superpower while the world was watching someone else. Welcome to Billionaire Xclusives, where we expose the untold stories behind the world's most enigmatic power players. If this is your first time here, hit subscribe now and activate notifications. Our exclusive content on global elites drops weekly, and trust me, this is one channel your algorithm will thank you for. Before the gleaming towers of Abu Dhabi rose from barren sands, Mohammed bin Zayed's story began in a different UAE, one without skyscrapers, international airports, or global recognition. Born in 1961 to Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, the founding father of the Emirates, MBZ grew up during a pivotal moment of transformation. While oil wealth was just beginning to flow, his father insisted that young Mohammed understand their nomadic roots. "My father would take us to the desert with nothing but a few camels and basic supplies," MBZ once revealed in a rare interview. He'd say, "This is who we are. Never forget where you came from." This dual education between tribal wisdom and modern wealth shaped a leader unlike any other in the region. While his peers jetted to Europe for shopping sprees, teenage Mohammed absorbed lessons in governance, sitting cross-legged in traditional Majlis councils. At 19, MBZ arrived at Britain's elite Royal Military Academy, Sandhurst, the same institution that trained Winston Churchill and numerous global monarchs. Fellow cadets described a quiet, observant student who excelled in strategic thinking and tactical planning. Unlike many royal attendees who treated military training as a formality, Mohammed embraced every challenge. He flew combat helicopters, led special forces exercises, and mastered modern warfare tactics. This wasn't just education, it was preparation. What separates MBZ from virtually every other Gulf ruler is this authentic military background. When he speaks to generals or outlines security policy, it comes from direct experience, not theoretical briefings. This foundation explains why Western intelligence agencies consider him the most formidable strategic mind in the region, a leader who understands both ancient desert survival codes and cutting-edge geopolitical dynamics, and he was about to put those skills to extraordinary use. 2004 marked a turning point for the Emirates. When Sheikh Zayed passed away, the nation mourned a founding father, but a crucial transition was already underway. While MBZ's older half-brother Khalifa officially assumed the presidency, health complications gradually limited his public role. Into this leadership vacuum stepped Mohammed, not with dramatic announcements, but through methodical, behind-the-scenes consolidation. "Power in the Gulf isn't always about who sits on the throne," explains Middle East analyst Dr. Hassan Rahman. "It's about who controls the daily machinery of government, military decisions, and economic strategy." By 2010, global intelligence agencies had already identified MBZ as the UAE's de facto ruler, the mastermind orchestrating the country's remarkable transformation, while others held ceremonial titles. His approach was revolutionary for the region. While neighboring states remained heavily dependent on oil revenues, MBZ implemented Economic Vision 2030, a comprehensive plan to diversify the UAE economy through tourism, aviation, technology, and financial services. Perhaps most surprising was his early pivot to renewable energy. Despite controlling the world's seventh-largest oil reserves, MBZ invested billions in solar farms, nuclear power, and sustainable development. The message was clear: he was building for a post-petroleum future. Simultaneously, he transformed the UAE's military from a symbolic force into one of the most capable in the Middle East. Working closely with Western allies, especially the United States, MBZ built an armed force with operational capabilities far beyond the country's small size. When he finally assumed the official presidency in 2022 following Sheikh Khalifa's death, it merely formalized what global leaders already knew. MBZ had been the strategic genius behind the UAE's evolution for nearly 2 decades, but his most ambitious moves on the world stage were just beginning. While Saudi Arabia's MBS captured headlines with flashy reform announcements, MBZ was executing perhaps the most ambitious foreign policy of any Arab leader in modern history. In 2020, the diplomatic world was stunned when the UAE became the first Gulf nation to normalize relations with Israel through the Abraham Accords. This historic breakthrough redrew Middle Eastern alliances overnight. What made this move remarkable wasn't just the agreement itself, notes former US diplomat Richard Clarke. It was MBZ's timing and execution. He calculated exactly when regional dynamics would allow such a step, then moved decisively. The results were immediate. Bilateral trade exceeding $2.5 billion in 2 years, joint military exercises, and technology partnerships unthinkable just months earlier. Simultaneously, MBZ positioned the Emirates as America's most reliable regional security partner. While maintaining a relationship with Russia and China, he authorized billions in advanced weapons purchases from the US, establishing the UAE as a military force exceeding its geographical size. Yet MBZ's influence extends beyond military might. The UAE became the world's highest per capita humanitarian aid donor, strategically deploying soft power across Africa and Asia through infrastructure investments, medical assistance, and educational initiatives. Perhaps most telling is the steady procession of global leaders making pilgrimages to Abu Dhabi for private consultations with MBZ. Presidents, prime ministers, and CEOs of trillion-dollar companies all seek his counsel on regional dynamics. What makes MBZ unique is his information network, explains security analyst Elena Kowalski. He maintains direct communication channels with virtually every significant leader in the region, including opposing factions. This gives him unmatched situational awareness. Through calculated moves rather than grand pronouncements, MBZ transformed the UAE from a minor Gulf state into an essential node in global politics, a transformation that required extraordinary wealth management. MBZ's global influence rests upon a financial empire that few can comprehend. As the strategic guide behind Abu Dhabi's sovereign wealth funds, he controls investment portfolios worth nearly $1.5 trillion, larger than the GDP of most nations. The foundation remains Abu Dhabi's vast oil reserves managed through the Abu Dhabi National Oil Company, ADNOC. Unlike previous generations of oil barons, MBZ transformed this traditional energy company into a modern, efficiency-focused corporation that maximizes returns while preparing for energy transition. The true genius is how MBZ deployed this wealth, explains financial analyst Morgan Chen. Through the Mubadala Investment Company, Abu Dhabi owns significant stakes in advanced technology, healthcare, aerospace, and artificial intelligence companies worldwide. These strategic investments include billions in chip manufacturer AMD, space technology firm Virgin Galactic, and pharmaceutical companies developing cutting-edge treatments. The investment strategy reflects MBZ's long-term thinking: build wealth that outlasts oil. The portfolio is meticulously balanced between stable assets like prime real estate in global capitals and high-growth potential in emerging technologies. This extraordinary wealth manifests in residences that blend cultural heritage with technological advancement. Qasr al-Watan, the Palace of the Nation, features a 37-meter dome housing a library of 50,000 volumes, symbolizing MBZ's belief that knowledge, not merely gold, secures a nation's future. His transportation reflects both status and functionality. A custom Boeing 787. Dreamliner, valued at approximately $250 million, serves as a flying command center, equipped with secure communication systems and luxurious meeting spaces for diplomatic engagements at 40,000 feet. Yet former staff members note MBZ's personal habits remain surprisingly modest. Despite commanding astronomical resources, he maintains disciplined daily routines focused on governance rather than indulgence, a stark contrast to stereotypical oil-rich rulers. This balance of strategic wealth deployment and personal restraint forms the foundation of MBZ's next ambition, securing the UAE's post-oil future. While other oil-rich nations talk about diversification, MBZ is actively building a post-petroleum Emirates. His most ambitious project, Masdar City, stands as a carbon-neutral urban development where autonomous vehicles glide beneath solar panels in a living laboratory of sustainability. "We must create an economy that works when the last barrel of oil is extracted," MBZ declared in a rare public address. This philosophy drives investments of over $160 billion in renewable energy projects. In 2020, MBZ shocked the scientific community by launching the Arab world's first interplanetary mission. The UAE's Hope probe successfully entered Mars orbit in 2021, making the small Gulf nation just the fifth entity to reach the red planet. Education forms another cornerstone of MBZ's future vision. The Emirates now hosts campuses of the Sorbonne, NYU, and other elite global institutions. Meanwhile, coding is mandatory in all UAE schools, with particular emphasis on artificial intelligence and quantum computing. Cultural advancement parallels technological growth. The Louvre Abu Dhabi, secured through a $1.3 billion agreement with France, anchors a cultural district including the Guggenheim Abu Dhabi and Zayed National Museum, positioning the UAE as the intellectual center of the Middle East. Protecting this progress requires uncompromising security. MBZ personally oversees a defense network combining Western technology with regional intelligence. The Presidential Guard, an elite unit drawing from global special forces expertise, ensures stability in a volatile region. Despite commanding a nation of 10 million, MBZ remains deeply focused on family. His 9 children receive educations blending traditional values with modern disciplines. Eldest son, Sheikh Khaled, increasingly represents his father at international functions, suggesting a carefully managed succession plan is already in motion. As the UAE races toward its centennial in 2071, MBZ's legacy takes shape not in monuments, but in systems designed to thrive long after oil revenues diminish. While Mohammed bin Salman captures global headlines, Mohammed bin Zayed quietly shapes the future of an entire region. His strategic brilliance has transformed the UAE from a modest collection of desert emirates into a technological, financial, and diplomatic powerhouse. What distinguishes MBZ from other world leaders is his unique combination of traditional values and forward-thinking vision. He honors Bedouin heritage while investing billions in quantum computing. He maintains Islamic traditions while building bridges to former adversaries. He prepares for a post-oil economy while maximizing current energy resources. The most powerful Arab ruler remains largely unknown to Western audiences, exactly as he prefers it. While others seek publicity, MBZ seeks results. While others make announcements, MBZ makes history. This has been an exclusive look at the extraordinary life and influence of Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. If you found this analysis valuable, support our channel by subscribing now and sharing this video. Until we meet again.